Hi everybody, I'm Bill Sanders and this is Watch Art Sci. In today's vest pocket video, what I want to do is it's called In Search of Golden Rotors, which are the gold or some other kind of metal oscillating weights that you find on automatic watches. Now, what I did, I went and looked at the Holy Trinity and see if they used them, and they did. I mean, I went to their not the very bottom, but pretty close to it, just their sports watches. And the Nautilus and the Overseas and the Royal Oak, they all had gold rotors, 22 karat gold rotors. I also checked out the Alonga and Sunda, and I looked at their Saxonia 38, and it too had a gold rotor, but it also had another little weight around it. But as this is becomes important because there's something about the quality of having an automatic movement with a gold rotor as opposed to having something else. So I thought, well, I'll check the HMOS. Now, HMOS, some of their older ones had, for example, the Endeavor dual time. They don't make it anymore, and sure enough, there was a gold rotor. Now, they had some parts of it cut out, so you could see the parts of the movement better, and so they had to make the rotor a little thicker in parts so they could have the same weight for the inertia oscillation. And I thought, well, I don't know if they're still doing that. And I took a look at some of the newer ones, and some of the newer ones didn't, but some did with exactly the same movement. For example, they have a new one called the Streamliner Center Seconds. It had the gold rotor. It has the HMC 200 movement, and the other ones with that same movement, a lot of them didn't have the gold rotors. So it depends. Now, another one, I mean, I was looking at some older ones. I was looking at the Girard-Perregaux Gyromatic, and I was looking at this one from 1970. In 1970, gold was about $30 an ounce. Really hardly anything compared to today. And so I found a Gyromatic, and there it had, bigger in life, there was a gold rotor, not surprising. But I looked at another Gyromatic, and this one, there are two things about it. One, it had an alarm in it too, but also it had a cover on the back. And but it's the same movement, exactly the same movement, except for the alarm modification. And the Gyromatic had some other kind of metal. I don't know what it was. Now, my Harry Winston also has a Girard-Perregaux movement in it, all right? And it's all gold. But the rotor is some other kind of metal, tungsten or something like that. So usually when you have a gold watch, what I've seen is that they have gold rotors with it. Not mine. All right. Now, another one that I just absolutely love is my Parmigiani Fleurier Colpa Grande. And the one I got has this great big rotor in the back made out of 22 karat gold with this barleycorn giloche or motif to it. And that's fun to look at on both sides. The color's a little unusual, but it's sort of a fun watch. I really like it. Now, on the next model of the watch, it was pretty much the same watch, and it had the same caliber 331 movement, but they quit using gold rotors, and they started having rotors made out of some other metal, and they had some little cutouts in them. But for my money, I'd rather have one with its with a big gold rotor on it than not. And if you're looking at a Colpa Grande, something you might want to consider just for the heck of it. Now, the final one I want to talk about is my Roger Dubois Easy Diver. Okay. Now, the thing about this one was that the Easy Diver had a RD14 for Roger Dubois 14 movement. All right. So this was something that was important to me because this This watch was a model that was made right around the time when Roger Dubois was still with his company before it was sold, and they did different things to it. And one of the different things they did was that they changed the rotor from gold to this something else, some other metal, and they changed the name of the movement from RD14 to RD821. I have no idea why, but they did. And then they put this other kind of rotor on it. One of the things I looked at is if you look at the periodic table of elements, tungsten has an atomic weight of 183.84. Gold is 196.97. They're relatively close in terms of weight, and so you can easily swap one in for the other and save a few bucks that way. But anyway, this is just a heads up for you. Looking for a watch? It's an automatic. Maybe it has a gold rotor, and one that you would pay just as much for may not. So be aware. Let's hear from you what your opinion is, and let me tell you, or tell me if you have any watches with a gold rotor yourself. Until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection.